Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. GPL quietly signs US $15.6 million contract with INTERENERGY Group. There should be a consensus on opposition leader, says VPAC's BESS. AZRUDDIN Mohammed should step aside. CANU working with international partners on recent cocaine bust at CJIA. Recent U.S. military action in Southern Caribbean worrisome for Center for International and Border Studies. And in sport, that AMSTEL and GDF recorded convincing wins when action resumed in the Guyana Football Federation's Women's League. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Thursday, October 9 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The Guyana Power and Light Incorporated has signed the much talked about US $15.6 million contract with INTERENERGY Group for supervisory, engineering and project management consultancy services. This is with the hope of reviving the staggering fortunes of the embattled power company. Marvin Cato is on this story.
The Guyana Power and Light Incorporated, GPL, on Wednesday signed a US $15.6 million contract with INTERENERGY Group from Dominican Republic for supervisory, engineering, and project management consultancy services. The agreement is aimed at supporting the acceleration of the modernization of Guyana's energy infrastructure, enhancing grid reliability, and advancing the country's transition towards a smart grid. Under the agreement, INTERENERGY Holdings will provide project management and oversight for major infrastructure projects, ensuring technical compliance, timely execution, and integration of smart technologies, delivering technical advisory services in operation and maintenance of generation assets, conducting audits, and recommending improvements for reliability, efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Lead smart grid integration and support capacity, access to specialized experts, and supporting GPL's operational and strategic decision-making. The two-year contract follows a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, signed in 2024, which laid the groundwork for technical collaboration, project management, and capacity building. It is important to note that when word of this deal was leaked in 2024, it was downplayed by the government, who subsequently stayed clear of discussing the details until documents of the deal were seen circulating on social media. In a sharply worded column in August, GHKLL compared the GPL-IEG arrangement, quote-unquote, a very sick man seeking help from another sick person. It could have done better. If its leaders were committed to what is best for Guyana, the DR is not a good place to start. Referencing analyses from the IMF and World Bank as recently as August 2023 and April 2025, respectively, LAL noted then that the Dominican Republic is still undertaking major electricity sector reforms to combat blackouts, transmission losses, and inefficiencies. Quote unquote, why would our government award such sweeping control to a company with unresolved baggage? Ram questioned. Meanwhile, a Partnership for National Unity's Ganesh Mai Paul, 1 month before Guyanese headed to the polls, also pointed to INTERENERGY's track record in Jamaica, claiming reports of a 300% increase in power outages on that island. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Our developing story, there should now be a consensus on leader of the opposition. AZRUDDIN Mohammed should step aside. That's the urging of the Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC's chairman, DORWAIN BESS. Here is more. Following incoming leader of the opposition's indictment in the United States on charges of wire and mail fraud and money laundering, chairman of the Vigilant Political Action Committee, DORWAIN BESS, believes that AZRUDDIN Mohammed should step aside to allow for a more unblemished leader of the opposition. The outspoken politician spoke with Nightly News exclusively on the issue.
There's an uphill challenge, legal challenge that he has to face. I read that indictment. And I personally believe he should step aside and be a part, and cooperate and select someone else.
It is the urging of BESS that the combined opposition, especially those who were selected to represent their party in the National Assembly, should meet, nominate, and then vote for an opposition leader.
Who has the capacity to defend and to hold the current government accountable? This is not about personality or who has the most seat. It's about the collective coming together, which means Forward Guyana movement, WIN, and the APNU, and deciding who they see fit. This is not an automatic, oh, AZRUDDIN Mohamed is the opposition leader. I'm not sure if that's your understanding of the...
The VPAC chairman maintains that the interest of the Guyanese electorate should not be taken for granted. BESS presented this scenario, which he believes further highlights his point.
What happens to Guyana if he jumps on a plane tomorrow and makes himself available to stand that trial and he's then remanded to prison? Who do we expect to act as the opposition leader?
The position of opposition leader should be taken seriously, BESS posited.
He's decided, well, I'm going to fight this extradition. Are we going to sit there and say, as a people, there's not a personal issue here. Our opposition leader is not a law-abiding citizen, doesn't want to face these accusations that he's been publicly saying has been, what's the word he used, weaponized by the PPP. If he feels he's innocent, I'm expecting him to go face what they call here the music.
The National Assembly comprises a total of 65. Following the 2025 general elections, the People's Progressive Party Civic increased its seats from 33 in 2020 to 36. The We Invest in Nationhood Party gained 16 seats, a Partnership for National Unity 12 seats, and the Forward Guyana Movement 1 seat. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. While the state is awaiting the fate of incoming opposition leader AZRUDDIN Mohamed following his indictment, the question that is being asked by one political analyst is, what about May Thomas? More in this report.
The U.S. Florida Southern District Court has indicted AZRUDDIN Mohamed, a U.S.-sanctioned businessman and the founder of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, along with his father, Nazar Shell Mohamed, on 11 counts. According to the indictment, on June 11, 2024, a shipment of gold bars worth $5.3 million that the Mohamed enterprise had shipped from Guyana was intercepted at Miami International Airport. May Tucson Thomas, the former permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, was also sanctioned last June alongside the Mohameds. According to the allegations, Tucson Thomas used her position at the Ministry of Home Affairs to provide the Mohameds with contracts, passports, and weapon licenses. No one is aware of her fate, other than the fact that she had resigned as a member of the People's Progressive Party and was placed on administrative leave. Political analyst G.H. Lal is questioning whether the government will deliberately stall the convening of the 13th Parliament as it anxiously awaits the fate of opposition leader-elect AZRUDDIN Mohamed.
We are concerned with Mr. Mohamed the Younger because he is the parliamentary entrant in waiting. The leader of the opposition, as you say, in waiting. The permanent secretary, Ms. Thomas, was sanctioned along with the Mohameds. However, rather startlingly, she is not among the indicted people, the two indictees named.
Lal is quizzing whether the government is quietly planning for a possible indictment so that it can determine how and when Parliament ends its recess.
Mr. Mohamed, what he will do or not do, that's his business, but he says he's going to fight this with his all. Good luck to him. May justice prevail here. Now, will he be allowed that opportunity, or will it be snatched away from his hands?
The political analyst noted that while he will not make any preemptive statements, he suspects that something is afoot regarding AZRUDDIN Mohamed's case.
Mr. Mohamed has the assets, and it seems that the determination to go to the CCJ, that could take some time. So we could be in the past November 2nd. Parliament is now convened. What then?
According to Lau, the incoming opposition leader has a Goliath to face, and it takes great legal representation to acquit him of these crimes he's accused of. He's also concerned about the U.S. government's sudden change of position regarding the sanctioned opposition leader in waiting. From the outset, U.S. Ambassador Nico Thurio was concerned about Mohamed being sanctioned would have business implications on the country. She eventually backpedaled, saying her government will work around the situation. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP. Nightly News.
Apparently moving on from a public debacle, the Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC, has no intentions of walking away from its coalition partners, so says its chairman. More details in this report. The recent rift between the Vigilant Political Action Committee and the Forward Guyana movement over the one seat that the coalition won following the 2025 general and regional elections should have never made its way into the public's domain. The man at the center of it all, DORWAIN BESS, chairman of VPAC, opened up to Nightly News on the issue.
It should have never made it into the public. That's not what the Guyanese voted for. So I am still very disappointed, and I would have expressed that concern because we haven't met since the public display. And I would have expressed that very clearly. Me being a young person entering into politics is expected to learn from others. I don't feel that that should have ever entered the public space.
Mr. Bess accused the Forward Guyana movement leader of breaching an agreement that the seats secured by the coalition would be rotated equally among Forward Guyana movement, the People's Movement represented by Pastor Nigel London, and the Vigilant Political Action Committee. The Forward Guyana movement, on the other hand, stated publicly that there was no such agreement.
What I would have indicated publicly is I'm expecting a man to honor our word. I've saw different comments, whether there was a contract or wasn't a contract.
All in all, the politician said VPAC will not be walking away from the coalition because of its commitment to the Guyanese electorate.
Some changes was made, and VPAC is still hopeful that those commitments are honored. So no, we're not planning on walking away. We plan on representing the people for the next 5 years.
Asked whether he, DORWAIN BESS, is eligible to sit in Guyana's National Assembly, Mr. Bess responded.
I, DORWAIN BESS, is not a candidate on any list, meaning I can't be a member of parliament, I can't be the opposition leader.
Right.
I hold a dual citizenship.
Right.
Until I denounce that.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Everything you want. Make home yours anytime with Courts. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Get value for your money. Oh, oh, oh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Oh, Courts have it all. Oh yeah. Home is what you make it. Top brands, you're sure to get it all. Courts have it all.
Courts has what you need to make home yours. You can get it all with easy payment plans using Courts Ready Finance. Courts, make home yours.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
HGP Nightly News. Guyana has launched its first national early warning system on drugs, an initiative aimed at improving the country's ability to detect and respond to new and emerging drug threats. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The Ministry of Home Affairs, through the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, and the Guyana Drug Information Network on Thursday, launched Guyana's first national early warning system on drugs, aimed at improving the country's ability to detect and respond to new and emerging drug threats, along with a stakeholder workshop. Director of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, James Singh, in his remarks stated that the aim of the early warning system is to strengthen institutional coordination, enhance public safety, and integrate scientific data into policy and operational decisions.
What we have discovered is that there are new psychoactive substances that mimics traditional drugs, but it often evades detection, legal classification, and treatment protocols.
He added that these substances are often marketed deceptively, and the early warning system will serve as the first line of defense against this evolving threat. It will give Guyana the capacity to anticipate rather than chase drug threats, ensuring that enforcement, health response, and public education are guided by timely and credible data.
We're not waiting until it's at our doorstep. We're not waiting until there's a problem, then we're being proactive. Should this threat reach our borders, we have enough systems in place to deal with it.
Parnell Clark, specialist at the Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission, CJIA, in his remarks said that Guyana now becomes the 7th country in the Caribbean sub-region to launch an early warning system. He emphasized that the system is a critical tool that allows countries to quickly identify, assess, and respond to emerging drug threats.
Particularly from new psychoactive substances, as well as from existing drugs. The system allows for alerts and warnings to be disseminated so that target populations are informed about the potential danger of consuming these substances.
Permanent Secretary Andre Ali, speaking on behalf of Minister of Home Affairs Unij Walron, said that no single agency can win the fight against illicit drug alone, stressing that success depends on strong collaboration among all partners.
This collaboration ensures that intelligence and lab findings are not confined by borders, but shared in real time to protect our people. It is proof that when we work together, the region is stronger, safer, and more resilient.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Director of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, James Singh, has confirmed that the probe into the recent massive cocaine bust at the Chedijagan International Airport is still active and also involves international cooperation. Here again is Tiana Cole.
Weeks after a staff at the Chedijagan International Airport, CJIA, was arrested after attempting to load 146.7 pounds of cocaine onto an Amsterdam-bound KLM flight, Director of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, James Singh, on Thursday said the investigation is still ongoing. He made the disclosure on the sidelines of the launch of the National Early Warning System on drugs. He explained that because of the complexity of the case, as the drugs were discovered with no one physically present at the time, CANU is working with international partners to determine the intended destination and identify who may have been on the receiving end.
So internally we're working with the Guyana Police Force and Chedijagan Airport, as well as other stakeholders there, to determine not just who brought it in, but again, in method of concealment.
Singh noted that investigations of this nature often take time, and given the international scope of the operation, CANU must collaborate closely with overseas counterparts to ensure consistency between local and foreign findings.
Because the evidence that we have here will be used in another territory if there is an opportunity to lay charges there.
EFORD revealed that since the discovery, 8 persons from various entities at the airport and elsewhere have been questioned in connection with the case.
We have an idea who's behind this. The difference is that's intelligence. We have an idea as to how the drugs got there.
The bus, which occurred on September 20, involved 53 plastic-wrapped parcels of cocaine found stashed at the bottom of a unit load device, which is used to load cargo and luggage onto aircraft. Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We tell you now that the CJIA International Airport says it is treating recent public bribery and extortion allegations concerning overweight baggage fees for Caribbean Airlines with utmost seriousness. CJIA assures the public that it is working closely with the airline and relevant authorities to thoroughly investigate claims raised by a Caribbean Airlines passenger. Passengers, on the other hand, are reminded that official payments, including for overweight baggage, must be made directly to the airline through approved channels, and an official receipt must be issued. Travelers are also being encouraged to immediately report any witnessed or encouraged bribery or corruption to the nearest police station or CJIA security. During the first 9 months of 2025, the airport security unit said it recovered and returned 80 laptops, 32 mobile phones, 106 pieces of luggage, carry-ons, 15 travel documents, 30 electronic devices, and cash. Works on the $15.8 billion government office complex near the new Eccles-Higbox roundabout continues, despite concerns of it being protracted and considered a waste of taxpayers' money. Antonio Day has been following this story.
The government continues to face criticisms by opposition personalities like Ganesh Mahipal regarding the incomplete $15.8 billion state office complex near the Eccles-Higbox roundabout on the east bank of the Marara. Mahipal had made it clear that this project lacked oversight. He stressed that taxpayers deserve better accountability and transparency on how public funds are being managed, noting that while millions have already been spent, citizens are yet to see tangible progress on the project.
We are committing to the people that we will ensure in government there is proper oversight, proper accountability, and good governance, because protecting the people's money is more important than anything else right now.
When Nightly News visited the location on Wednesday, piles were already driven on the first of the 4 12-story towers, which are constructed. The 12-story complex is expected to accommodate 6,000 staff and consolidate a housing for government services. It will also house a major parking facility, and it will be outfitted with its own utility complex. A project engineer familiar with that project told Nightly News that several challenges were encountered, and among them, due to labor shortage. The $15.8 billion complex is being built by Caribbean Green Building Incorporated, with VCAB Engineering as the project consultant. Former Minister in the Public Infrastructure Ministry, Annette Ferguson, adding her voice to the subject matter, said that the slothfulness of the project is a clear indication of poor oversight.
To date, between 2022 to 2025, 3 years after the National Assembly, the 12th Parliament of the National Assembly of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana approved some $8.6 billion. I have been calling on Minister Edgel over the last 3 years to come clean with regards to this project.
She underlined that there are many other projects being undertaken, which in her view lacks oversight and is a waste of taxpayers' monies. She said that the incumbent must be held accountable for the delay to this $1 billion government office complex.
What is causing the slothful pace where the 12-story office complex being funded by taxpayers' money of Guyana? What is causing the delay?
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Center for International and Border Studies held a panel discussion Wednesday evening with the aim of contextualizing the recent military events in the Southern Caribbean region. Marvin Cato reports.
On Wednesday evening, the curtains were drawn when the Center for International and Border Studies hosted a panel discussion focusing on the impact of the U.S.'s action in the Southern Caribbean, a place heads of the respective government continues to describe as a zone of peace. Dr. Mark Horton, founder of the Center for International and Border Studies, shared an overview of what the Caribbean is currently facing.
The Caribbean is in an uncomfortable position today, clearly at the intersection of the increasingly volatile engagement between the U.S. and Venezuela.
The U.S. has embarked on what it calls the war on drugs in the Atlantic off the southern Caribbean coast, targeting vessels allegedly emanating from Venezuela. Several vessels have since been blown up, killing more than 15 persons to date.
And, in a sense, a broader geopolitical rivalry among some powers, some major powers, which brings at the same time tensions and potential fragmentation to our region.
Dr. Curtin believes the actions of the U.S. could be seen as a violation of international law. The volume of drugs from the Caribbean and Latin America is reportedly not as high as compared to other areas of the world. He also floated that their actions, though supported by some regional leaders, has caused division among CARICOM leaders. The volatility between the two countries puts Guyana in the crosshairs of Venezuela, with its neighbor claiming more than half of its territory.
Recently at the United Nations General Assembly, President Trump indicated that there was more to come and that drug traffickers would be, quote, blown out of existence.
The Guyana-Venezuela border controversy is presently before the International Court of Justice. The rise in tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela, the U.S. being Guyana's strategic security partner, could spell trouble for future relations with Venezuela and a possible incursion of Guyana's territory should Venezuela feel threatened to the extent it believes Guyana is facilitating such actions from the U.S. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Marvin, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying that the sunshine stretched your legs. The sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? But you and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Everything you want. Make home yours anytime with Courts. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Get value for your money. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all. Home is what you make it. Top brands, you're sure to get it all. Courts have it all.
Courts has what you need to make home yours. You can get it all with easy payment plans using Courts Ready Finance. Courts, make home yours.
With us here in the HGP Nightly News. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards is gearing up to observe National Quality Week from October 12th to 18 under the global theme, A Shared Vision for a Better World. Jada June will tell you more.
According to Lloyd David, Head of Corporate Communications at the Guyana Bureau of Standards, GNBS, this year's theme is especially significant as it highlights the importance of collaboration in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030.
The International Organization for Standardization and other international organizations have selected this goal because they believe that standardization has a critical role in realizing achieving all of the other SDGs.
David shared that the GNBS has planned a packed schedule of events to commemorate National Quality Week celebrated from October 12 through 18th. Activities will begin with official messages from the Minister of Tourism and Industry and Commerce, Honorable Susan Rodriguez, the Chair of the National Standards Council, and Executive Director of GNBS, Trevor Basu. The Bureau will also host a speech competition for fourth form students in Region 2, giving young people an opportunity to express their understanding of standardization and how it affects everyday life.
At an early age, they can have appreciation for how standards are helping them to realize life, to be able to function and to have businesses and being consumers as well.
Later in the week, the GNBS will hold a business session and international business conference promoting the GYS 901 standard, which outlines requirements for good management systems within small and medium-sized enterprises. The Bureau will also launch a, and I quote, like and share, close quote, social media competition and the We Are Standards campaign, featuring local companies that will share how standards have improved their efficiency, product quality, and competitiveness. The week wraps up on Friday with the Long Service Award ceremony, where 19 employees will be recognized for their years of dedication and contribution to the Bureau's work in standardization. David also announced that in November, the GNBS will host the National Quality Awards ceremony, where over 100 local businesses have applied to be recognized for implementing standards in their operations.
The Guyana is transforming, and it's important that our products and services meet that level of quality that is acceptable by the citizens.
As the GNBS leads the charge in promoting standards, National Quality Week 2025 reminds us that partnership and shared responsibility remains key to building a better, more sustainable future.
Going forward, we are eager to work with any business, any organization, any entrepreneur that wants to develop standards, implement standards for success of their businesses.
Jada June reported for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, the Bureau has highlighted the vital role played in ensuring the agriculture sector, in particular, continues to experience significant growth with quality, safety, and sustainability at its core. Here again is Jada June.
According to Lloyd David, Head of Corporate Communications at the Guyana Bureau of Standards, GNBS, the Bureau plays a critical part in supporting the agriculture industry from the farm to the customer's table.
The GNBS has several roles to play in ensuring that the sector is successful.
He noted that the GNBS currently has a wide range of standards that cover the grading of local produce, such as tomatoes, pineapples, cucumbers, and pears, along with standards of fruits, juices, jams, and jellies.
One of those roles is the development and implementation of standards.
These standards provide guidance not only to farmers, but also to agro-processors involved in value-added products chains.
Standards help farmers in helping them to practice good management system in their farming.
By following these standards, farmers can produce goods that meet both local and regional requirements, opening opportunities for export within the CARICOM region.
For example, milk. Milk has to be transported at a certain temperature, in certain condition, in order to ensure that it remains wholesome. And so also for fruits, if you do not transport those fruits properly, they will become damaged.
David emphasized that several of Guyana's agricultural standards are also recognized as CARICOM standards, meaning that local farmers who comply can access broader markets in countries like Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. Farmers and agro-processors who wish to access these standards can do so through the GNBS Standards portal at gnbsgy.com. By searching for specific products such as pineapples or fruit juices, where users can view details about the relevant standards, its scope, and cost before purchasing a copy directly from the GNBS. Jada Drew reported for HGP Nightly News.
Your regional news is up next.
Live the
Island Dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details.
Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up kids?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
A myth of mystery.
Oh gosh, it's who?
A fable of fear.
Turn to them.
A legend of laughter.
Laugh at your mother. Laugh, you jackass.
Laugh of the River, the Guyanese play which premiered in Barbados, comes home on Saturday, October 11 and Sunday, October 12 at the National Cultural Center. Experience this world created and crafted by Al Crichton Jr., co-directed by Ayana Waddle and performed by the National Drama Company of Guyana. Adult tickets cost $3,000, $2,500, and $1,000. Students can get their tickets at a cost of $1,000. Laugh of the River. The river doing what man's supposed to do.
And Jack Mandora, me not choose none.
Granny, what you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying that the sunshine stretched your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning, or planting. No horse in the wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But Sunshine? But you and Sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I am your anchor, Antonio Day. We begin with news in Barbados. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley on Wednesday urged the 56-member Commonwealth grouping to lead by example and demonstrate that democracy, even in the most trying times, remains the fairest and most effective path to peace, prosperity, and human fulfillment. Delivering the 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference Emilia Lafaka Memorial Lecture, Prime Minister Mottley said that democracies everywhere now are under pressure, some from death and mistrust, from division amplified by digital rage, and from sheer fatigue. Mottley said it is important to work together with renewed purpose toward a future where democracy thrives within borders and in a shared global community. And I quote, "Let us move forward hand in hand with courage and conviction to build a Commonwealth where democracy is not a privilege of the few, but the birthright of all," she said, acknowledging that this is not simply the work of the government, with the work of all our citizens, and those of us will know better, must guide and prepare to allow those who may not yet be awakened to this reality the opportunity to join us in this battle that truly will determine whether we progress or whether we regress into the domination of countries and individuals by a few. The Prime Minister said that people do not live inside concepts, but live inside consequences. Turning attention to news in Belize. Belizeans residing on the island of Cape Colca will vote to decide whether marijuana should be legalized for production and sale 3 years after the process had been shelved. In 2022, Belize almost legalized recreational marijuana, with the government being forced to rethink its position despite having legislation ready. The authorities face a backlash from churches and some medical practitioners, and despite plans for a national referendum, the cause forced the idea to be shelved. Now, 3 years later, the debate is back, but on a smaller stage, with Cape Caulker's village councillor Ilya Rosado securing an island-wide vote to decide if the community should allow a regulated cannabis industry. And I quote, "My community has many needs, and most of that are things like infrastructure. I have people in my community living without water and electricity. We need proper streets. Our schools need help in terms of their own facilities, their own infrastructure, and we never have enough revenue to be able to render the assistance that I would like to help," Rosado has said. And finally, with international news, Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas signed an agreement on Thursday to cease fire and free Israeli hostages in the exchange for Palestinian prisoners in the first phase of the U.S. President Donald Trump's initiative to end the war in Gaza. Israelis and Palestinians alike rejoiced after the deal was announced, the biggest step yet to end 2 years of war in which over 67,000 Palestinians have been killed and returned the last hostages seized by Hamas in the deadly attacks that started it. Officials on both sides confirmed that they had signed the deal following indirect talks in the Egyptian beach resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. Under the deal, fighting will cease, Israel will partially withdraw from Gaza, and Hamas will free all remaining hostages it captured in the attack that precipitated the war, in exchange for hundreds of prisoners held by Israel. Fleets of trucks carrying food and medical aid would be allowed to surge into Gaza to relieve civilians, hundreds of thousands of whom have been sheltering in tents after Israeli forces destroyed their homes and razed entire cities to dust. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.
Let's join Delvin Neblett for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I am Delvin Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Thursday, October 9, 2025. We begin tonight with football. The Guyana Football Federation is pleased to announce that Executive Committee member Andrea Johnson has been appointed to serve on FIFA's Women's Football Development Committee for the 2025 to 2029 term. The appointment was confirmed by FIFA following decisions recently taken by the FIFA Council. Ms. Johnson will serve as a member of the committee, which is responsible for advancing the development, growth, and global profile of women's football. The appointment represents a significant achievement for both her and the Federation, particularly at a time when the GFF has been placing increased emphasis on the growth and development of women's football. Also in football, action resumed in Division 1 of the Guyana Football Federation's Women's League 2025 with 2 fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence on Wednesday. In the first match, both Amanda McKenzie and Whitney King delivered brilliant hat-tricks, but it was Lakeisha Pearson who was unstoppable with a remarkable 7 goals for the Guyana Police Force FC to deliver a thrashing 80-0 victory over the AMSTEL. Ali Alain, Ashanti Smith, and Leandra Henrito also scored once in a winning effort. In match number 2, the Guyana Defence Force FC produced a commanding 5-0 victory over the Fruta Conquerors on the back of a double from Glendy Lewis, as well as goals from Sherilyn Kingston, Shanessa Cornelius, and Sandra Johnson. Meanwhile, action will continue in the Georgetown Football Association Senior Men's League 2025 with 2 fixtures at the Police Sports Club ground Ivlery on Friday. The first match commencing at 19 hours will feature East Veld FC versus the Motherland FC, while the second fixture will see Pile FC go head-to-head against Ordis FC. And finally, in cricket, action continues in the West Indies tour of India tonight as the stage is set for the second and final test at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi. India currently lead the 2-match series 1-0 and will be pushing to seal a clean sweep in front of their home crowd. The West Indies, humbled by their Ahmedabad collapse, are desperate for redemption. Captain Rossin Chase has called for his batters to find starts and build partnerships. India won the first test by a resounding margin of an innings and 140 runs as Ravindra Jadeja delivered a player-of-the-match performance. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwin Neblett reminding you to stay in the game.
Thank you, Neblett. GPL quietly signs US $15.6 million contract with INTERENERGY Group. There should be a consensus on an opposition leader. VPAC's DORWAIN BESS says AZRUDDIN Mohamed should step aside. CANU working with international partners on recent cocaine bust at CJIA. Recent U.S. military action in Southern Caribbean worrisome for Center for International and Border Studies. Zone of peace under threat. And in sport, the AMSTEL and GDF recorded convincing wins when action resumed in the Guyana Football Federation's Women's League. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.